Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. This is Anthony here, starting us off, and I'm joined today by no other than...
Me!
Steven, who doesn't name himself. He's a little goofy today. And I guess he's just a little hopped up on the potential excitement that comes from the rumors that we're going to discuss very briefly today. There's not necessarily a ton to be said on it, but let me fill you in on what's going on here. So there was a recent statement made by Dr. Serkan Toto, I believe. Let me make sure that I'm saying his name right. Yep, got it. From Canton Games.
First try, too.
He's an analyst, from what I can tell, a gaming analyst that I've seen his name bumping around in analyst circles for quite a long time. It seems like he's got a lot of clout. So take that for what it's worth. He has made some pretty positive statements regarding his, analysis, I guess, for lack of the term I'm trying to use here, on what he thinks Nintendo's going to do. So
he correctly predicted the Switch Lite.
So this guy has definitely has some clout behind him. So he made some pretty positive statements regarding his thoughts on what Nintendo will do, and he kind of bases his reasoning, at least in part, on the fact that PS5 and the next Xbox Series X, I think is what they're calling it, is releasing in the holiday season this year, and the power gap is going to become pretty gigantic if Nintendo doesn't have an answer. So let me actually use his words. He says he has absolutely no doubt that Nintendo will launch a Switch Pro with 4K support this year, 2020. That's pretty positive statements there.
Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Yeah. Now, he's the only one that's said anything so far, so take that with a grain of salt. But again, he's been right before.
Take that other grain of salt. Yes, that's right.
and just make sure that your expectations are tempered. Some of the things he said that kind of raised my eyebrows just a tad. He was saying that he thinks it could release over the summer holidays. And that it will come with a system seller game. Who knows what that is? The thing that...
Breath of the Wild 2.
What's that?
Breath of the Wild 2.
That would be epic. We both have kind of been arguing back and forth on what we believe is the likelihood of that happening, and I have had to...
You had to slap me across the face and be like, delays! But he's right. Zelda's prone to delays, so I have to get over it. But it'd be so cool. Come on.
It would be legit.
I mean, the Switch launched with Breath of the Wild. The Switch Pro, what better title to launch that with than its sequel? That'd be so cool.
It would be very, very cool.
And pretty epic. It'd be so cool.
And if there ever were... If there ever were a Zelda game that could release this soon after its predecessor, it would be Breath of the Wild 2, simply because of its reused assets. But still,
yes.
I mean, the thing that makes me suspicious of this idea is just the fact that we've heard nothing about it from anyone else, especially Nintendo. If memory serves, we learned about the Switch for the very first time, 4 months before it released, so I guess it's not unheard of. Nintendo does seem to like to surprise us a lot closer to releases these days, so maybe it'll happen. Who knows? But all we know is this guy, Serkan Toto, he's very confident, or at least he sounds like it, and so... we wanted to say something about that and ask you to, what your thoughts are. I'm skeptical.
Let us know in the comments below. Anthony's skeptical. I'm very hopeful.
Steven's hopeful. I'm hopeful too. I'm just maybe a little bit more of a pessimist than Steven is, and
I'm smiling from ear to ear. That's okay. Yeah.
But I would love that for sure. If it can be done right, I say bring it on.
I know that some people might be a tad upset just because they are hoping for a Switch successor, being the Switch 2. I don't know, Anthony, do you think this is going to hurt the Switch, or do you think people are going to be upset about? I don't know.
I originally would have thought so, and I think I've said so in past videos, but after seeing the success of the Switch Lite, I'm inclined to think that probably won't hurt. I might be in the camp that might prefer a true sequel, but then again, Nintendo themselves have stated that they want the Switch to have an abnormally long working life, and so I'm not expecting a new device that's supposed to be the next generation from them this year. I do think that they need to have some sort of answer to the PS5 and Xbox Series X, because in all honesty, the gap is already large-ish. I mean, it depends on who you're asking. It doesn't bother me at all, but it's going to become enormous. It's going to become, Grand Canyon levels of separation here if they don't have an answer.
The jump that the PS5 and Xbox Series X are making right now is just a tremendous jump. They're basically doubling resolution. So that being said, Anth, this guy is saying that the cartridges are going to be bigger. Is it going to kind of be like a 3DS where you can put two different size cartridges from the original DS and the 3DS, where we could do backwards compatibility with our Switches? Because like you said, if they want this system to last 10 years and they're going to release a Pro model, it would have to be backwards compatible, right?
I would think so. And plus, the naming would be confusing if they didn't. I don't see why they couldn't do that.
Yeah,
Because,
Nintendo, you've learned your lesson once doing that. Please don't do that again.
Yeah, no, as you say, with the case of the 3DS, there's no reason they couldn't make it work with both. Yeah, that's kind of our thoughts, guys. To hear such a big name use such positive language about it is encouraging and kind of exciting, and also a little bit eyebrow raising. So
hold on to your wallets.
We're pretty excited at the idea. So let us know what you think.
And until next time,
keep it nerdy.